know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Looking to help your favorite Chiefs podcast? Well, we're trying to raise money to create merchandise for our online store, as well as be able to have more merch to do giveaways to all of our fans. To any of our YouTubers, if you see down below, you can show your support with the new Super Thanks option. Any amount will go a long way towards helping us launch our online store. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks to all of our followers for your continued support. Enjoy the episode. Hey there, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm here with our guy, former tight end, Jason Dunn. JD, you had based on the photos I saw on Twitter, based on everything I saw on TV, it looked like you had an amazing time this weekend. How was Canton, Ohio?
Man, I tell you what, man, the amazing time is making it light. I mean, I had an extraordinary time. It was so glorious going out there, seeing Coach Vermeil, as you see it right here, right? Hall of Fame, Dick Vermeil, 2022, right there, Kansas City Chiefs. I got this shirt in the store at the Hall of Fame, and it was the last one in my size in the 2X, and I had to just grab it up just to support Coach. But, man, when I'm telling you, just, seeing guys and seeing Chiefs family, man, it just really, really warmed my heart. And so, you kind of people that you've worked with, that you treat as family, and you haven't seen them in such a long time. I mean, it's just such a good feeling, good-hearted feeling. And so, everybody looked good. Like I said, it was beautiful to see all the faces and see what everybody's doing and what they're keeping up with, and and seeing Coach Vermeil, especially in that light, well-deserved. And so, man, like I said, man, we're just catching up with a lot of guys I haven't seen in a long time, but beautiful weekend, wonderful weekend, man. Incredible.
Yeah, all the speeches were good that I listened to. All of them were heartfelt and stuff, but there's something so different about the way Coach talked versus the other guys, right? It seemed like, like every person, he had a story to tell by everybody. And I texted you during, I was like, I think Coach is going to go over his allotted time for his speech because he had a story to tell by everybody. He's like, oh, like that person reminded him of another person. He was like just talking to everybody. It's like, for a guy who's 85, 86, he's sharp as a tack.
85, 86, man. 85, he's 85, will be 86, I think in October. And he is, man. He is a sharp guy. He's still in great shape. It was funny because when we were leaving, he was leaving out of the hotel. I seen his wife, Carol, came by and gave me a hug and, it's one of my guys. And I was with Vernon Dean, one of the coaches that coached under Coach Vermeil. And me and Vern actually coached together down at Kentucky State. But we seen Coach Vermeil when he was leaving out, and we got outside, and here Coach Vermeil is taking his bags and tossing them into his car. Like he's just throwing them in. He wouldn't even let the bellhop help him. That's the crazy thing about it. We just like Coach to sit there and just move around. And he seen us looking at him. He was like, I got to stay moving. But he was talking about getting on the road. So he drove down. That was another thing. He drove down at that age. Just getting back in, man. So he just, man, I'm talking about just the amount of energy that he has, the amount of gratitude that he has about the people that's been in his life. I mean, it's wonderfully done. All the speeches, Kurt and Trent did one. I think I sent a picture of them speaking at the end. But it was amazing. It was amazing just seeing all the people that he touched and the influences. And so what he was saying was, as much as he got that everybody benefited from his influence, he felt like he benefited even more. And so I really got that. I really felt that. And Coach, man, when I said just a beautiful person in and out, but he coached, man, and he taught about life. He coached about life. That's what he did. X's and O's, we knew he had that. But when I'm talking about just going into the heart of things and people and knowing who they are, the humanness and the love that he showed, that's who Coach is. That's what he taught. That's what he believed. And so you could see that in the people that came there to see him in the induction ceremony. So Eagles, Rams, Chiefs, and his high school team. The one he kept calling his kids, they're like in their 70s, like 74, 75 years old. It was funny. It was really funny. But yeah, man, it's just Coach. That's his influence on the guys in the world, just reaching out and extending. And so all of that is love. All of that is love.
Yeah, it was cool to see like a lot of the guys like in the photos. Johnny Morton, who looks like looks like $1 million. Yeah. No
doubt about it, man. J-Mo, Dave Klemick, Jeff Hurd. Let me see. Warfield was there. Dante, Lyle West, I haven't seen in a while. Shenard Hartz. I didn't see Chris Horn, of course, Trent, Eric Hicks, Willie Rove. I mean, I go on and on. Ken O'Gammon. I mean, I just on and on. Coaches that was their influence. Mike Solari, Vernon Dean, Chad O'Shea, Bobby Saunders, Al Saunders, Bud Epps, our trainers. I mean, Carl Peterson, Denny Thum. I mean, I could just go on and on about the people that have been in the office. We was talking about Brad, and Pete Morris and those guys, man. These guys, man, everybody just kind of showed up for this wonderful time just to congratulate Coach. Absolutely well-deserved honor and his highlight of his career, man. This incredible, man. I can't keep saying enough, man. Seriously. Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, no, it seemed like a really good time. Carl Pearson, I tweeted about it, but dude, he looks like $1 million too. He looked like a wise guy in that little video. That he looked like a mafiosa.
Man, I don't know what Carl's doing, man, but Carl looked like he turned the clock back about 10 to 15 years. Yeah. He looked great. And sometimes maybe that's that pressure off of, from being a GM running an organization where you can just relax and look good. So yeah.
Gotta say, I was kind of jealous when I saw you and Eric. Eric sent me a picture of you two together. I was like, man, I was like 2/3 of the squad there.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, Eric, man, it was good to catch up with my brother right there. So, T Rich. And so sometimes it's just good to put your arms around guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, you see each other on in text and talk on the phone and whatnot and pictures and whatnot. But man, putting your arms around people, just feeling how they doing. Can never be understated. Seriously. So it was good.
Yeah, no, the Hall of Fame weekend is such a cool weekend because you get to see so many like different eras all in one, all one big family and everything. Like you said, you had the Eagles, the early '80s Eagles on that team with that Dick Vermeil party with the Rams, the Chiefs. I mean, it's so cool, because it really is a whole brotherhood. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and so of course the names Jaworski, Vince Papale.
Papale was there.
Papale was there. Yeah, he was. He sure was. That joker was there, man. I see he kind of brushed by somebody like, "Yeah, excuse me." I'm like, man, that's Vince Papale. So when they say what's up to him, real quick, briefly, Howard Eskin. I'm trying to think who else. There's a lot of guys.
Howard Eskin was there.
Howard Eskin was there. Yeah, he sure was. That's that guy. But then the Rams, all the guys, like I said, Kurt Warner, Orlando Pace, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Ernie Conwell, Roland, the tight end guys, man, they was all there, man. So it was, Marshall Faulk, dudes was there. It was who's who. And, like I said, T Rich and those guys. And so it was good. It was good to catch up everybody, like I said, just paying that respect for him. But yeah. Incredible weekend, man. Look, I'll tell you what, if you're a football fan this is like the mecca of football. If you have a chance to go and actually go see all these guys, these Hall of Famers, and people coming up there during that time, I would, without a doubt, encourage you just to make one trip to Canton during that time. Just to see the Hall of Fame, man. The whole everything around it is just incredible. And guys getting in too, like Richard Seymour. Talked to Richard, man, and just told him, man, great thing. Getting in, beautiful speech, beautiful family. Bryant Young. I'm trying to think who else. We see Morton up there. Morton, of course, is a great guy, like always.
Cliff Branch's family.
Cliff Branch's family was up there. So now, man, it was good. All it was good. Let's see, Andre Rison. Seen Bad Moon Rising up there too.
That was cool.
Yeah, Antonio Freeman. Those guys, man. So Andre Rison still got the spunk in him, man. Still got it. So
that's cool.
Cool.
How far is Canton from Kentucky?
So I'm in Central Kentucky. I'm in Lexington. It's about 4.5 hours, 4 and some change. I get there about 4 hours.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got to do that. That was it was cool. I was looking for you. I have my camera out. Okay, I'm ready to take any pictures of JD they show him on the big screen.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So the night before the induction, Andy Reid and your guy Alan Wright were there to greet Coach.
Yes, that was it. And Coach spoke about that too.
Yep. And
the gratitude that he had for Andy just to come and just to say, "Hey, Coach, just want to congratulate you for this, man." It just moved him in tears, And so, and Alan, that says a lot. That says a lot about the character of people when you care, you show up, right? When you decide to show up to something, that means you care. So, yeah, Andy, man, that was a great gesture on his part just to fly in like that, him and Alan, and get back. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's cool too that two of your coaches right there.
Yeah, right. That dude. So there's a long history just with those guys, and you see it. You see the what you have as far as like with Andy, just kind of like, look, man, I got out here to Kansas City. Coach Vermeil was the one that kind of walked me through this process of getting out of here. Yep. So we got to take a hat off to Coach Vermeil for doing that, bringing Andy here and some of these championships and these wins. So that's good. That's good. It was a great thing.
Yeah, it's the Kansas City, Philadelphia, a full circle right there between those two.
No doubt.
JD, you actually were on a show recently, and why don't you kind of tell us about your experience with RGR football?
Yeah, man. I got on the show, man, with some wonderful fans, some wonderful guys, man, that did a great job. We had a wonderful conversation. It was late at night, and we just kind of sat there and talked football. 3 guys in there just enjoying themselves, man. It was the RogueHead Huddle. The RogueHead Huddle is the show I was on. It was Keys and Brian, and those guys, man. So grateful. Had a great conversation. I'll tell them I'll come and visit them another time too, man. So thankful, man, for having y'all guys on, man. Appreciate it for me being on your show and talking. I said I'm gonna come visit y'all again. So just a lot of love to the guys that's from different channels shouting out to us. So, man, y'all just keep going. All the guys out there, podcast is doing it. Just be supporters of one another. Got great content. So just all keep it up. All right.
Yep. All the content creators out there. Yeah. But I'm going to be on Lance. Lance has spoken, our friend of the show. I'll be on his show this Sunday.
Lance, my guy. Okay.
I always tell him, there's certain chief content creators out there who refuse to talk to any other podcast or do anything else because they want all these hedge for themselves. And it's like, that's not how you and I operate. We're trying to spread the love whenever we can.
It's crazy. Just guys I know, don't really want to miss guys out, but I know, how about those Chiefs that gave us a shout out? Keenum Cass gave us a shout. Like you said, Lance has spoken to those guys, man. Those dudes, my brothers, man, they do a great job of things. So a lot more. So like I said, I don't name a whole lot of guys, but man, all the guys who are out here doing content are great dudes, man. They really are. And so we support them like they support us, and we support everybody in this. So yeah, can't get enough of Chiefs football. Just can't get enough of it. So Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
That's right.
Well, while the old Chiefs were making moves on this weekend, we also had some moves being made in-house with the new squad. So with our first topic tonight, we're talking about a new body, which something that JD's alluded to, that we need to maybe bring in some D tackles. We talk about pass rush help, but maybe bring in some guys in the middle in the trenches. So this past yesterday, we ended up bringing in Danny Shelton, former first-round pick out of Washington. He's kind of bounced around the league a little bit, but he's a plugger in the middle that we do not have on the roster as it stands right now. Also, I think it's funny too. Drew Rosenhaus is his agent, and that's the second guy we've signed over the last 2 weeks that Drew Rosenhaus has I think it's his way, partly making amends for being on that first Tyreek Hill podcast episode. I'm joking.
I don't know, man. Look, them guys, they do. There's a lot of backdoor things going on. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Drew's been around for a long time, man. So he already knew that they always going to do business. So nothing's really personal. It's all business, right?
Yeah.
And so he's doing his job as an agent. But yeah, now look, if he decides like, hey, look, you know what? I'm just reconcile a little bit with you. I'm gonna throw this guy to you. I know you need him. Yeah, sure. Hey, bring him on, Drew. Appreciate it.
I'll get you on a friends and family discount. I got you guys.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is something we talked about. Like, we're defensive tackle help, but we had Reid last year, didn't really work out. And then we have Derek Nottie, we have Kalen Saunders, and then we also have Taylor Stallworth, which you brought in from the Colts this year. So those are really the only D tackles we have in house right now. But then we bring in Danny Shelton, big guy, play for the Lions, play for Patriots, and I believe the Browns too. But what does this make you think of what we see and how we feel about our defense tackles that are in-house as of right now? The fact that we're bringing in this guy 2 weeks into training camp.
You know what, man? I think you can look at it one or two ways. But ultimately, like, if you bring a guy in, then you need him. You feel like, maybe not enough is getting done opposite of Chris. And so I think bringing a big body like that here, who's a run stopper, you need a guy like that, right? And so a guy like this could take up, double team, take up space, so you can free up a lot of other guys. And so that's what what you're ultimately looking for. You're looking for a guy that's going to be a force inside, but occupy two bodies at one time. And I've heard he's a bull rusher. He gets off blocks. He can make tackles. If he's pushing guys back, man, that's what you want. You just want to be able to create lanes. And so that's going to be great for Chris, Karlaftis, and the pass rushers and the linebackers. So this guy coming in, man, he for one, he's going to create a lot of competition, which is great. Always, competition is one of those things that you just need to light a fire over guys' butts. But two, like I said, maybe just nothing wasn't getting done in the room. And so that's the evaluation. And I say this all the time, especially in camp, when you get into pads, then you really start finding out who you got. Okay. And so, like I said before, everybody's going to look great in shorts. Everybody's going to look great, flying around. You got your tail halfway, a towel flying in the wind looking pretty. Everybody's going to do that. And especially in pass rush, you ain't got the pads on. Guys should be able to win. And so when you start, actually strapping these things up and going to war and start leaning on bodies, then you find out who you actually got in that room. And so I think they felt like they needed some help. And if he's a guy who's been a journeyman, but he's been effective where he's been, shoot, bring him in. Absolutely. I think he's going to work out a lot better than some of the guys that's probably been here. And so, like I know you said, Jaron Reid last year, man, it just didn't work. Just didn't work. And we needed that. We needed other guys to step up beside Chris. We shouldn't always put things on Chris. That's the way I feel about it. There's got to be another dog in that room that's going to be able to fight and cause penetration and make some tackles. So that's just part of the game, man. That's it.
Yeah, and we talk about having, rotation at the ends. I mean, the big guys in the middle need some rotations too. Those guys need breaks and breathers too,
Yeah, they need depth. Yeah, depth is important. It's key, especially, in this day and age. But, the depth, you don't want to lose out on talent just because you have depth. Every guy that you have there, you want effective guys that is going to make a difference, right? Like you could get bodies. Everybody can have somebody as depth-wise, but is he effective? Is he a guy that's going to create havoc? Mm-hmm. And so this guy right here, from what I understand, he's going to do that.
Yeah, as far as everything I've read, every metric I read, as far as run stopping, he's a perfect run stopping D tackle. As far as pass rush, that's something that he may not get as much pressure or penetration up front, but run stopping, apparently that's his big MO. So
okay. So my evaluation last year from the D line, I think we kind of lost out on penetration. I didn't really see a whole lot of that last year, and I was one of the ones that was screaming about, like, man, what's going on with the penetration? Like, we need to start capturing lanes. We need to be able to make sure we keep the line off the linebackers. And so, yeah, look, you don't have to get 4 or 5 sacks from the inside. That's tough anyway, you know? And so, but if you're a guy that will hit a guard or center dead in their mouth and take them out the play and push them in the backfield on top of the quarterback, shoot, that's a win. And so we know, especially in that area, the guard and the centers, they create the depth of the pocket. If you got somebody actually pushing pressure and collapsing that pocket, that's what you need. You just need that, right? And it creates lanes. Yeah. And so I think, man, we really lost on that last year. You know, I just didn't really see a whole lot of that penetration. I just didn't. So yeah.
And we talked about that as being a need in the draft. Like, maybe we need a D tackle. Maybe we need – there's something we talked about.
Yes.
We talked about Sue. We talked about there's some guys in the draft that we possibly talked about. We never got that. So this is that need. Right.
Yeah. So, man, I think it worked out. And the good thing is, you know, you bring a guy like this in early and address this right now because you still got time with all these preseason games and whatnot before the season starts. And this guy's been pretty fresh. I'm sure he's ready to go. So, yeah, man. So you don't really lose out on anything. It's not like the scheme is going to be that difficult for, you know, somebody who's a no tackle 3 technique.
Yeah.
You know? So, shoot, penetrate. Push the guy back, push him back. You know, get in the gaps and find that hole. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, like you said, it's good that we figured that out now, not in September or October.
Nah, man, that's true. That's too late. Look, we got a gauntlet of games, of teams to run through the very first half. It's going to be tough. So we got to be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. In the last 2 weeks, I would say we've won the last 2 weeks again between Shelton and Dunlap for the last 2 weeks. I mean, those are needs that you and I said we needed from the get-go, and check. So here we go. You know?
Check. Here we go.
You called all this stuff happening. So again, Dunstradamus is in the house.
There he is. There you go.
Oh, you kill me. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. If you watch our show, you know, there's guys who talk about it. I know obviously everyone always gets hooked onto the new names of people you bring in. But this week, Patrick Mahomes sat down with James Palmer and Steve Mariucci on NFL Network after practice, I believe, on Monday. And he's discussed the receiver room, and we got a little insight on how they're going to be using Mecole Hardman this coming season, and who is the last man standing from our receiver room of years past. But Pat said something really interesting, and this full quote was, quote, "I think Mecole has taken that step to fill that spot that Tyreek did in those deep routes. He's accepted that challenge and will have everybody kind of developing and doing different types of stuff, but he's about to be a big part of it, and I'm really excited for him," end quote. We've all seen Mecole take reps as a Wildcat quarterback, and he did it a few times last year, but he's doing it in training camp too, so they're using him all over the field. And you start to see his utilization kind of go up. And even in that last game we saw in the AFC Championship game where he was calling for the ball, I mean, he wanted that. He was feeling it. And everyone's kind of gotten not blinded by blinded in a way by the new guys we brought in, Juju, MVS, Skyy Moore, naturally new guys, right? But are people sleeping on Mecole Hardman? I think a lot of people are changing their tune on Mecole Hardman after hearing this quote that Pat said this week. But are you surprised that Mecole is going to be the Tyreek replacement?
No, not at all. To me, to be honest with you, what he was able to do in the playoffs and toward the end of the season, I think it warrants that. It really does. I mean, he was beating guys deep. I mean, he has that speed. We know he's got, world-class speed. All right. We know he could make guys miss. And so whenever you have a guy that has that electric ability, escapability, you got to utilize it. And so Mecole, to me, was making strides and steps to be that guy, right? And I think in his mind, he was almost seeing it because he realized, like, look, okay, your first year, you kind of trying to find your way. Second year, it's like the bumps and the bruises, you go through things. Third year, okay, you got to start making the staple about who you are, right? What type of player you're going to be. And I think Mecole, man, he absolutely showed that. So from, being in the backfield, right? Doing the reverses, wildcat, like I said, stretching the defense, finding the window, just getting open. I mean, that's what he's got, man. He has that ability. So that doesn't shock me whatsoever. I think what turned a lot of people off, because everybody wanted to talk about it, was where was his dedication during off season? Oh, where was Mecole Hardman? Is he going to work? Or he's not serious about this? Look, how it works in the NFL, and most guys understand you got a clock, and we realize, okay, that there's opportune time to make money. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you get out of a rookie contract, you realize that what I'm putting on film is going to help me on my next contract, right? And so if that might be the motivating factor, he ain't got to be at the facility. You don't have to see him everywhere all the time. Doesn't mean the man's not working, right? And so I've always thought that Mecole was, just who he was and how he spoke and him wanting the ball. I'm like, that's showing confidence. That's showing that he's starting to feel himself into where he fits into the whole scheme of things. And so I think when Tyreek departure, he was like, whoa, shoot, bet. Then, the door's fully open for me, right? To kind of be that guy. And I think he was ready to fit into that role. And so, look, we know we got MVS. We know we got Juju. But Mecole's like, if nobody's got more rapport than me with Patrick on the team. They just don't. And so I think, man, Mecole's going to have a wonderful year this year. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people who may be doubting him, maybe doubting his ability or maybe his hands and stuff like that. And Mecole's a playmaker. He is through and through. And so I think the maturity and the next year, this year for him is going to be an even better year than he's had. Probably the best he's had since.
And coincidentally, it's a contract year for him. So, we know guys play on their contract.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you want to get paid? You got to show what you can do. Pure and simple. You got to go out there and perform, right? And so I think he'll put it on his shoulders. He might be a guy that, you always see it when you're playing. When you need a play, he might just be like, hey, man, shoot, throw it to me. I'll be that playmaker, right? Shoot, I've been here, man. I done earned it. I done earned them stripes. Let me be it. Let me be the guy. Come on, coach. Run this route. I got him all day. I can see Mecole doing those things, right? Like I said, man, so he's like the elder statesman. So it's going to be good. And Patrick, he's talking that way. Patrick saying that, he's comfortable with Mecole taking that role.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even I think when we first did first talked about the Texas workouts, I don't think we knew if Mecole was there yet. He was already starting to get flack for it, and then he was there. I mean, he wasn't in the first images or videos that came out about that, but he was there. He ended up coming with Travis later on. But like you said, he was already there. It was for the new guys mainly. But then he still ended up showing up. You're a big fantasy guy, and a big question as far as for fantasy football is the Chiefs receivers. Which one of the Chiefs receivers are you if you were to draft one first of all the Chiefs receivers? Which one are you taking first among all of them?
First one I'm taking is probably Juju. Juju will probably be first. Mecole will probably be second. And then MVS and Skyy is probably third around there, right? But I think Mecole and Juju is going to be the ones getting probably the brunt of all the passes. That's what I'm looking at. And so I want to see how the preseason. Well, it might change when the talent start getting drafted. I want to see how the preseason works, and I'm like, hey, Mecole might be the guy that should be the number one, but I think it should be them two. Juju and Mecole. So I think Juju got a lot to prove. It's his contract year, right? He's on a 1-year deal. So we got two guys fighting for their contract next year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you think Juju's probably more PPR league kind of guy, more points per reception?
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah, definitely. But I think, that's when Mecole has the ability, because he's going to be doing stuff out the backfield. like I said, reverses and all different things like that. They're going to run the football with him. So that will eat into maybe some of the passing and catches and stuff like that. But, if he, some rushes and stuff into the end zone, shoot.
That stock goes up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I saw a friend of mine asked me about which one of the Chiefs receivers would you take first, and I'm like, oh man, I went Juju obviously first, just like you, and then I was like, outside of that, I was like, I don't know, it's pretty much a toss up, but I think Hardman, based on him taking snaps at the backfield, and what you said too kind of brings up something. It's the fact that he was so confident towards the end of that season where he was like, I want the ball, so much so that he's arguing with Tyreek Hill on the sideline about, I don't know what they were talking about, but I think it seems to me, I think he thought he was open on a lot of the stuff that was going on. So,
Yeah. And it probably is just frustration because, guys always want the ball. If you expect, man, I'm open. How come you're looking for me? It's like, hey, man, look, it's a scheme of things. A lot of guys open. Shoot, Tyreek's like, man, I'm open all the time, right? Ain't no sense us sitting over here fussing and saying that on the sideline. All it's going to create is just more division, right? You don't want to do that. Yeah. Shoot, we're winning. We scored. So don't be mad at it, you know? And so it was like the same thing when they went to console him when he what was it? He dropped the pass or fumbled the pass. What was it? Oh, it was. That when Travis and him was like, hey, man, we going to need you on this. And that's what I think he fumbled the football. Yeah. They was like, look, we're going to need you. We're going to need you on, to come back. And he did. So.
Yeah. But it exudes confidence. I know that's the best way of doing it, but it exudes confidence. And that's, there's no Tyreek Hill there. Now you step up and here we go.
Yeah. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, right? Yeah. Because you can be confident in your abilities. The arrogance could get you really in trouble, because you might feel like you deserve something, and that can make you angry and bitter. And you don't want to be that guy.
No. But yeah, so for all you fantasy football players who are listening and watching, Juju and Mecole Hardman would be JD's top two receivers to take from the Chiefs.
Absolutely.
So I know this is a team that everybody wants to get the main receiver from. And obviously the main receiver, that's where the tight end goes. And if you want to draft tight end pretty high, then by all means, go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No. Shoot, come on. So.
All right, so our next topic, if you are a Chief Concerns fan, you know that this guy is someone that we are rooting for. We've been rooting for a lot since we brought this guy on. And it's our Josh Gordon tracker. So since our last show, we talked about the lack of media coverage on this guy. He started to get more coverage. We're starting to see videos of him catching balls from Patrick. Also, even hearing tweets about him catching balls from Patrick with the ones. So it's good that things are coming up. And even he caught a bomb on our first round pick, Trent McDuffie. And, everyone was kind of, in awe of that one. So it's good to see Josh Gordon's getting his coverage. But not only are we taking notice of this, Andy Reid is talking about Josh on Monday at his press conference. And he had a full quote saying, Josh has really attacked it the last few days here. He's had really good days. Again, I appreciate his effort, and he's kind of the senior citizen of the group. He's the older receiver in that mix and has had success in this league. And the way he approaches it is full throttle. He's going for it, and there is great competition. But for him to be in there doing what he is doing, I appreciate every snap he takes. So take that for what you will. At the same press conference, Josh also had some media time, and he was asked, what does he need to do to make the team? And he said, make plays when coach asks me to. That's what Gordon said. And Gordon said a lot of other things too. But I had a lot of Chief fans who say that Josh Gordon's presser didn't show any confidence from him making the team, which I didn't get that from that. But everyone's got an opinion on it. But what did you make of Andy Reid's comments about Josh Gordon? Seems like he's really rooting for him.
Yeah, I think Andy was kind of waiting for him to kind of wake up a little bit. And I think the reason he brought him back was because he understands the ability of the guy that he has in the room. He knows who Josh Gordon is. He knows what he can do athletically and physically. He knows that. He knows he's a weapon. And so, Andy's like, hey, man, shoot, he's starting to show a little bit now, who we knew he was. And so that, Andy's, look, brilliant guy. Andy, without a doubt, is probably one of the most brilliant offensive minds in football. And he understands who Josh, like I said before, what Josh could bring to the table. He could bring to the Chiefs. And him saying that just says, look, man, this guy is not counted out. He's a guy that has a lot of experience. He's a guy that was actually probably one of the premier wide receivers in the league. Hello, everybody, right? At one time. And I get everybody, oh, well, that was 2013, 2014. The guy hadn't lost that. I can understand if he lost a step, he trimmed down, he got in great shape, he had to learn the offense, and sometimes it's, finding yourself into the offense, how you work yourself into the whole scheme of things, right? And I think it's what they were trying to figure out. But I think Josh is, he's getting to that point. It's going to take him a little bit longer, right? We understood that. He's got the playbook down. Now we need to see Josh Gordon in that scheme, right? Into the whole Andy Reid, Bieniemy, scheme of doing things, the offensive, thing of it, right? So I think, Andy is not down on Josh. These preseason games are going to tell a lot. If Josh, and then people talked about getting cuts, I think Josh will be one of those guys that if it came down to that, he'll probably be one of the last cuts, okay? Because they could be like one of the two ways. So either like say, hey, look, you get rid of a guy or you cut him early to say he could find a fit somewhere else to learn something, or you wait till the very last day and say, we need this guy, we don't need this guy, right? And so there's been a lot of receivers, guys talking their names and stuff, but man, it's early. These guys are young. And like I said, Josh Gordon was a premier wide receiver in the league, and he still has that ability.
What do you make of the fans that keep saying, and this is something that I think is outrageous, but again, everyone's got their opinion on it. That Josh can't play special teams. So he's not going to make the team. Even though, let's say, okay, I'm not saying Josh is better for this offense than Justin Watson, but let's say it's between Justin Watson and Josh Gordon. Justin Watson can play special teams, so since he can play special teams, he's going to make the team over Josh Gordon. I mean, even though Josh Gordon probably has a higher ceiling in this offense than Justin Watson does.
Right.
No team's going to cut the guy who's got a higher ceiling just because the guy can play special teams. Or right? I mean, is that kind of...
I mean, it depends. It depends on how vital is that guy to special teams, right? So I know. I look at it like this: when you have special teams, primarily for wide receivers, you're either going to be a gunner, okay, or a return man. That's going to be your primary calling. That's what you're going to be, right? That's what it's going to be. And so I may think special teams wise, I might want to use a DB to do that because he's a better tackler than a wide receiver, right? Let's just be honest. I was a special teams coordinator for 4 years, okay? Been in special teams, played it when I was in Kansas City and Philadelphia. I know when you're looking at guys, the efficiency of what you use a guy in a body for is how you ultimately decide this. So let's just say Justin Watson, if he's the number one as a gunner, if he's making plays, I don't know. Could that be a nod? But he's got to be making a lot of plays. He can't disappear on special teams. Like he can't get, pushed out of bounds and whatnot. But if he's going down making tackles in live ball, we don't know what that's going to be. So, and it's not saying that Josh can't play special teams. He can run down and make a tackle. He can run down if he needed to. But I don't know if you want to utilize that body for that. That's a guy I want to utilize for a fade route in the end zone, a big body guy. That's what I'm using for him. Go deep with a guy like this, right? So, that's what I said, man. I would just love to have a guy. In my mind, I was just thinking, I know Andy and all the guys are thinking, man, geez, we got to get this ball. We got to get the guy the ball. We got to get him the ball. And so that I don't know. Everybody's different. Every coach is different. Me personally, hey, Josh, I need for you to run down a couple of times. Okay. Can you do it? Can you play? Matter of fact, can you play safety on when we kick it off, on kickoff? That's another thing you're going to be playing. So I don't know, man. Sure. We'll see. We're going to see who's doing the dirty work, man. But if it's just 1 or 2 plays, I'm with you. The ceiling for me, Josh Gordon, is a lot higher than Justin Watson. I know we say that, and that's, coaches got to come up there. They got to say those things and, give hope and then just talk about these things. But shoot, I'm not getting rid of that guy. Believe me, not me.
Yeah, I mean, and I believe I was reading something that apparently one of the biggest fallouts with Russell Wilson and the guy the GM there in Seattle was the fact that he wanted them to go out and bring back Josh Gordon, and they didn't do that. They didn't listen to him on that, and he was pretty pissed off they didn't do that. And then now Russell Wilson's playing in Denver because they didn't do little things like listen to him on bringing guys like Josh Gordon back to the team.
Listen, I've said this, okay, and I'm gonna keep saying it. And there's a lot of people that agree with me that have played football, NFL, and whatnot. Okay. We know that Josh Gordon has the ability to go out and catch 50 balls a year in the offense. We know that. And so a guy like that, I'm making sure he's staying close. And like Josh said, hey, I just need to go out and make plays. I need to make plays like Coach wanted me to make plays. And he knows that. As a veteran, he knows that. And he understands the window. He understands what he's up against. He knows it's great competition. And I think what he was showing was humility. He was being humble in the press conference, right? Because he's a veteran guy. He's a soft-spoken guy anyway, man. He's a very bright, intelligent, smart, soft-spoken guy. He's not the rah-rah like, yeah, man, I'll go out there. I'm going to kill you on. He don't seem like that guy at all, right? I think the gratitude that he shows, people take it as weakness. And it's not that whatsoever. To him, he's like, hey, man, look, I appreciate every snap, everything I'm out here to do. I'm just glad I'm being out here playing football, right? And so in the moment, he's just appreciating for what it is, what he has. And so I think, that's not one of those things that he's worried about or lack of confidence. He's just grateful. He's just grateful. And that's what I love about him. I love a guy like that who's grateful for especially these opportunities that he has, especially now, right? So, hey, they're gonna hate, they're gonna get upset. People, he's washed up, we don't need him, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right, fine, maybe not. I don't know. But I know if it was me and I had my druthers and I made a decision, I wouldn't get rid of the guy. So.
Yeah, and at least let's see what's going on in preseason. Let Josh Gordon. And this is the thing: we're gonna see all these fans who may not be saying anything about Josh Gordon right now. Maybe upset that we keep posting stuff about Josh Gordon. But wait till he's dominating the 2s and 3s on Saturday, and we need to get the guy in the 1s. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. You put that guy against a guy who's barely gonna make a team. Josh Gordon is gonna eat that guy's breakfast. Right.
And the thing, and also too, we need 2s and 3s. You better make sure the quarterback's getting the ball to him.
Yeah,
that's true. If I was Josh, I go to the huddle. I'm like, look, you get in any problem, throw it up to me. Throw it up to me. You see me, throw it to me. Throw it up. Watch me go make plays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Hey, like you said, everybody got their own opinions about it.
Yep.
That's ours. And cool, man. I'm easy with it. Hey, they can hate on him. That's fine. Hey, y'all in that camp. I'm in the other camp with this, right? So I'm good with it.
And he said something really interesting. Well, he said two. One was a cool thing because they asked him about his relationship with Corey Coleman and how Corey Coleman's always calling him and asking him how he ran certain routes in practice and stuff. And then they said, is it kind of awkward between you and Corey because, you guys are potentially fighting for the last spot on the team? And he goes, nah, it's not awkward. He goes, I'll be happy for if he makes it. That means we both worked our butt off for it, and he did better than me. That's all I can say is we both worked our butt off for it, and he earned it. Thought that was a cool moment. Another one was where he talks about what he learned from last year to this year, and he talked about the fact that coming in the middle of the year last year for the Chiefs and learning that offense, he said was an insurmountable task, which speaks volumes about how extensive this the offensive playbook is. The fact that it was an insurmountable task is the quote he used.
Yeah, I mean, because you have a lot of movement, and when you have that, and you're trying, like I said, you're trying to fit. You're trying to find out where you fit into this, right? Your athletic ability, and what slows guys down, any player, is when you have to think, right? And if it's not something that if it's just second nature, and you're just rolling off, and it immediately, shoot, then you could just play. You could be free and just play, right? I think what Travis does such a great job of being able to get open and play free and whatnot. He just used his, all of his gifts because he's like, shoot, I got this down. I already know what Pat wants. I know how to get open. I know how to, to receive the ball. I know how to do all those things. And so that's why I mean, he does such a great job. And Josh is like, okay, let me think what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, you don't want to be robotic. And sometimes when you're thinking about so much and too much. And so there go the drops, some of those things that you see the mess ups. And so unsurmountable, he's telling it, man. He's a bright guy. If he's saying it's insurmountable, like you said, you know the extent of what this playbook is.
Yeah.
Right. And so and going back to what you were saying about how he was talking about Corey Coleman, it's just showing, the type of character about the man he's matured into.
Yep.
Right. And look, as one of your boys, known him for a long time. He's like, man, I'm going to be grateful if he makes it, if I make it, whatever it is, and I'll cheer him on if he gets it. Hey, that's what you should do. Right. So that's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
Appreciation. It's good.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, people say, oh, he knows he's not going to make the team. It's like, no. I mean, it's humility. And it's a guy who's just, him saying happy to be here is not like, I'm just happy to be here because I don't know if I'm going to make the team. That's literally saying, I'm happy to be here based on what I've been through in my career. I'm happy to be here and now. And that's what he's focusing on, which I'm fine with that. I don't take that as a weakness, as you said.
No. Look. No, yeah, look, you got to take the good with the bad, right? That's what you got to do. And that's part of like I said, that growth and maturity. That's like understanding, like, look, you know what? So our opportunities may be there, they may not be, but whatever I get, I'm grateful for. Yep. I'm good to have. So, hey, if I get negative press, so be it. I'll deal with it. Positive press, so be it. I'll deal with it. You got to take success and failure the same, like a great assault. You really have to. And I think he's at that point now where he's just like, yeah, man, I get it. I get that point. So
it's such an easy guy to root for, and an easy story too. And we talk about this every week, but it really is. It's a new layer that adds to Josh Gordon resurrection every week, and I'm here for it.
Right.
Okay, so with the final topic tonight, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that it's Chiefs football this weekend. So with the game this weekend on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Chiefs will be playing the Chicago Bears. And for all you sport degenerate gamblers out there, like myself, the Chiefs are a 3.5-point underdog at Chicago this week. At 3.5 points, you don't know how much is our guys going to play. There's a lot of unknowns there. We don't know how much our ones are going to play. Probably not a lot. But if you're buying our depth like I am, I'm taking the Chiefs on money line and take them straight up this weekend. But outside the betting aspect, JD, what are you looking for on Saturday with this first preseason game?
I don't know, man. Probably just I'm not expecting a whole lot. The ones that are not really gonna get a whole lot of work. They'll get in, do a little bit. Maybe take a couple of series, but you're going to see where the 2s and the 3s are trying to develop. This is where it's going to start, like getting down into the bare bones of things. Like, okay, guys are going to make the team. We got to get a good look at these guys, right? And so I'm going to be checking out actually the offensive line and the guys that we had in camp, like Roderick and those guys, Kennard, and see how they play. It's always good to see where the rookies are at, their progress when they're not hitting guys in the same jersey, and how the lights are bright to them. I can remember when I first got in, my first preseason game, and the amount of like, oh my gosh, like pressure, not wanting to mess up, right? Because it's like your first official NFL game, right? It was just, insurmountable, right? That's a great word. I guess it really is. It's like, geez, you over here, you just sweating, and everything just going through your head. Everything's just going through your head. And guys that's been there before, the veterans, man, they taking it easy. I mean, it's to them, this is easy. It's easy work. Yeah, man, go ahead. They'll have their tennis shoes on and hats ready to go by the end of the first quarter. So they know they'll be done with it. But I'm looking for the 2s and 3s to kind of show up to see what we got DB wise. Also too, these guys, these rushers, edge rushers, defensive ends, defensive tackles. I want to see that too. Also see, man, I want to see some of these running backs. We'll see what's going on in that room, man. I want to check out and see how they operate with this week. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Do you think we'll see more so of the one? Like, okay, CEH has been the main one so far with the ones. Do you think we'll see a lot of him just because the whole running back room is kind of in flux, not in flux, but it's kind of up for grabs right now? You think we'll see more of CEH than we will than any other starters?
Heck no, we better not see a whole lot of that Joker. Hey, one series, you get one, you might get two. Hey, after that, over. You know what I mean? You done. Now go, you are done. Come take your helmet, put it right here on the bench, sit down and watch the rest of the game. Get some popcorn if you need to. All right, trainer, come get him. Come get him. Yeah, man. Nah, there's some guys we don't need to see. Travis a lot, Patrick a lot, CEH a lot, Juju and those guys. We don't really need to see those guys a whole lot. All right, I'm just gonna offensively, y'all chill. Okay, let these other guys get in here, let them work and see how they feel, how they mix in and stuff like that. Get them into a nice tempo, good pulse, in and out the huddle, and see how it goes. But yeah, certain guys, you are done. Don't even ask me. I don't even want to hear it. You already know when I tell you it's over, you're done. Sit down. So it's always tough, man. Everybody just they like the action. You can't help it. You just can't help it. But
yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's cool too. A first game is away in Chicago. It's a great city to go out and as a first destination for the preseason. As far as preseason goes, how is it? Pretty much the way it would be like a regular season game. They get to like the day before and like the night before. Yeah,
that's what it would be. You know, everybody just kind of gets into like the routine of things, how you operate on the road. So it'll be a good experience for guys who've never done it before. It'd be really good, just to see it. But I'm telling you, the guys probably didn't want to go out. You're not gonna go out anywhere. You're gonna be so. I'm telling you, nervous, knee knocking the night before. It's funny. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, man, I'm here for it. I want to see this. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
And like we've mentioned on the show in the past, it's like we are so deep that like even watching the fourth quarter. I mean, not to say the fourth quarter preseason is not fun to watch, but more so this year, I feel like we're just so heavy all over the place and just deep all over the place that like fourth quarter dwindling minutes of that game, we're gonna be glued to our TVs because there's gonna be guys playing. It's like, oh man, I really want that guy to make the team. I want that guy to cut in and get some playing time with our starters and stuff. So I mean, we're just that deep that we're gonna be watching deep into these games in preseason. That we're gonna be, rooting for these guys. We want to make the team because we're attached to some of these guys.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, man. You're gonna get a preview of like I said, the first team probably one or two series, and that's about it. But like you said, there's so many bodies there that there's no reason to play, the ones for a long time. Yeah. And so you're that's what you're trying to do. These guys are trying to, move up in position. They're trying to make their statement right now. And this is the opportune time because you're not going to have a whole lot. I forgot the dates where they had it. When the cuts come. So everybody knows that date, if you're on the Chiefs, if you're in the locker room, that date cuts. And so, days are numbered. So.
And I know that a lot of the players are just happy to play contact football without those things on their helmet, that padding.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was watching Hard Knocks last night. Brockers from the Lions were saying, man, this thing adds like another ounce to my head, man. It's not heavy, but it adds another ounce.
So they got Hard Knocks on? Who's in Hard Knocks? What team they got?
It's the Lions this year. So it's actually pretty good. They have, I didn't realize their entire staff's all former players. Deuce Staley, Aaron Glenn, Mark Brunell, Antoine Randall. That's all those guys are on their staff.
What? They got Deucey over there?
Yeah.
Deuce, that's my guy, man. I used to block for Deuce up there in Philly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn. And who else you say?
Mark Brunell.
Randall. Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, they got a staff.
Really good staff. I had no idea all those guys.
Yeah, so Jason know what he's doing, man. He's got to get some guys, man, to motivate these dudes. It's good staff. It seems like. Yeah. So how did they look? I don't know. Shoot, I might just start checking out.
I mean, it was a good episode. Really, no controversial things on it. So that's one good thing. So no, it's pretty like I when I went to school down in Miami, Dan Campbell was the interim head coach with the Dolphins that year. And, you got to see that he's a big rah-rah guy. And, like, you can just see the guy very passionate, former tight end.
Former tight end, man. I love Dan. Dan's a good guy, man. Good guy. I like him.
You see that passion come from him. You're glued to it. You're rooting for the Lions. And I feel like most fans are just, hoping the Lions fans and the Lions can actually be successful, win something for the fans there. Because, they're a dedicated fan base, man. They've been waiting for a winner for a long time. So I hope the best for the Detroit fans.
Well, good.
But all right, well, that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Chief Concerns presented by BetOnline. We'll see you guys next week as we discuss what we saw on Saturday against the Chicago Bears. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir, baby. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.